Sunday with a real blockbuster at home to Arsenal. Dan Khan has been watching the first team train for us. We can speak to him now. Hello, Dan, in the sunshine. Lovely up there. Any injury issues for Manchester United?
Yeah, afternoon, Matt. We got to watch a little bit of Ruben Amorim's Manchester United side train a bit earlier on today, ahead of what is such a huge game against Arsenal on Super Sunday. And I think Ruben Amorim will be pretty pleased that he doesn't have many injuries to worry about. And actually, he has 3 of his major new signings ready to go at the start of this season. We saw Benjamin Sesko for the very first time in front of our cameras after sealing his move from RB Leipzig to Manchester United on Saturday. He joined the likes of Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, who will form that new look front 3 for Manchester United compared to last season. I think the question marks will be around Sesko in terms of how match fit he is and how he adapts to English football, of course, just at the age of 22. But they have ready-made firepower in Cunha and Mbeumo, and really raises the expectations for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United going into this season, having spent just under £200 million on attacking talent this window. In terms of other injuries to tell you about, Aiden Heaven was there fit after coming off against Fiorentina. Joshua Zirkzee also back in training. 2 names that weren't there, Lisandro Martinez still recovering from his knee injury last season. We know he's individual training at the moment, not fit enough to just join the group just yet, but also no sign of Noussar Mazraoui, who of course joined from Bayern Munich last summer, played a huge part for United last season, but he's also out, it seems, with an injury just for now. We'll get an update from Ruben Amorim on those 2 on Friday when he speaks in front of the media ahead of that game against Arsenal.
And of course, we know United have to sell players. Were those that they would like to leave involved today?
Well, that's a 2-part question, 2-part answer, Matt, because some of the players we know who aren't part of Ruben Amorim's plans going forward, the likes of Jadon Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho, Tyrell Malacia, of course, weren't there with the first team this morning. But one striker who was there, talking about Sesko coming in, one who's been rumoured with a potential departure in terms of Rasmus Højlund, he was with his teammates this morning, and I have to say in pretty good spirits. And I've been around United a lot in the last week especially, and that's pretty consistent with what his behaviour has been, considering there are so many question marks over his future as we speak. We know AC Milan are very keen on the Danish striker after United spent £72 million on him just a few years ago from Atalanta. We know United may consider offers for the striker if it fits him as well as the club, but we'll have to see in the next few weeks whether a move materialises. I think the question for Højlund will be how many minutes does he see himself getting with the arrival of Sesko, especially in a World Cup year as well. Will he see that as a jeopardy of his place in the Danish team as well? We'll have to wait and see. But I think the other departures are very important for United as we speak, Matt, in terms of the likes of Garnacho, Sancho, get those wages and those fees into the club, wages off the wage bill, because if they are going to look to strengthen even a little bit more before the deadline, they're going to really have to balance the books and get some departures sorted.
OK, well, how about that extra strengthening then? We've seen them already really strengthen in attack. Could there be any further incomings?
Yeah, I think we spoke about this the other day in terms of signings under Ineos since they've come into the club, and they really have strengthened actually in a lot of positions. I think there were question marks earlier in the window around the goalkeeping position. Andre Onana also missed all the pre-season with a hamstring injury. I can tell you, saw him train as well after he was pictured yesterday on the club's website. He was training this morning. So I think United are actually reasonably happy in their goalkeeping position as we speak. I think when you look at the midfield, though, that is perhaps the one question mark over what is the best combination going into that Arsenal game, with Bruno Fernandes having to play deeper, with the arrival of Cunha and Mbeumo. Who is his best partner in that midfield? Is it Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte or Casemiro? I think there's still a lot of question marks in that position, and I think ideally United would like to strengthen in that area before the deadline. But is it a Carlos Baleba, who we understand would be very, very difficult to get over the line in this window because Brighton have no intention of selling him? Would they look elsewhere? We'll have to wait and see. But I think the midfield is that one position. I think if you're Ruben Amorim, you would like to strengthen and to really compare against the other top 4, top 6 sides in the Premier League.
Always a pleasure, Dan. Thank you very much. Right, I wonder if Manchester United are one of the teams that are going to find this news very interesting. No doubt a number of Premier League teams are now on alert after PSG's Gianluigi Donnarumma failed to agree terms on a new deal with the European champions. He's been told he's no longer part of the club's plans and that he can leave. And he's posted an emotional tribute on Instagram last night as well, effectively saying goodbye to the fans. He said, "Unfortunately, someone has decided that I can no longer be part of the group and contribute to the team's success." That's someone we presume is the manager, Luis Enrique. "I'm disappointed and disheartened." Excuse me. Well, Manchester City and Manchester United among the clubs who've been linked with a move for Donnarumma. Big news, this, isn't it? In terms of Man City, what do you make of that, given that apparently Man City want Ederson to remain as number one and not leave the club?
Yeah, look, it's very surprising, but in the transfer window, when a player and a top player becomes available, then things change and clubs' financial situation changes as well, because they look at an opportunity and can make certain deals work that perhaps weren't on the table previously. For Manchester City, first of all, they want Ederson to stay. He's got one more year left on his contract. The player himself spoke while at the Club World Cup and said, "I want to stay. These rumours and rumblings around a potential move to Saudi Arabia are nothing. I haven't heard anything of that. I just want to stay. I want to help Manchester City compete for Premier League titles, compete for the Champions League." Manchester City then have brought in James Trafford back to the club. Now, I would expect that they would have bought this player to compete with Ederson for the number one spot, but also to show him a pathway that actually in the future we see you as our number one. Gianluigi Donnarumma is just 26 years old. If they were to bring him in, there's no doubt Donnarumma's coming anywhere to compete for a number one spot. Yeah. He's coming
just won the Champions League.
The number one, exactly. He's a talented goalkeeper. Now, we heard from Jules Lauren earlier reiterate probably what we've been talking about. Is he a Pep Guardiola type of goalkeeper? Well, one of the reasons why Luis Enrique seems to think not is because he doesn't play out from the back as much, isn't as good with his feet. Well, that doesn't seem to fit with what Manchester City would expect from the goalkeeper. Having said that, they're big fans of Donnarumma. Rightly so, still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. They have seen him as a potential option at the end of this season to come in as a free transfer. But now that situation has changed, whether that will change Manchester City's viewpoint remains to be seen.
And will Chelsea and Manchester United eventually review their...
Gianluigi Donnarumma breaks silence on being forced out by PSG in cryptic message, with Man City among clubs interested in €40 million. Italy star Gianluigi Donnarumma has hit out at Paris Saint-Germain for freezing him out of the club, as he appeared to confirm he would be leaving the French giants this summer. The Italian star, 26, is widely regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but has been effectively banished from the PSG first team. Reports in France had claimed he has been sidelined from training after being told by club chiefs that Lucas Chevalier, a €48 million arrival from Lille, would be their new number one. And Donnarumma seemingly confirmed those reports as he posted a farewell message to PSG fans on social media on Tuesday. "Unfortunately, someone has decided that I can no longer be part of the group and contribute to the team's success," he said. "I am disappointed and disheartened." PSG have pushed Donnarumma to the exit door after being unable to agree a new contract, which expires next summer. It was confirmed on Monday that he had been axed from the squad for the Super Cup final against Spurs in Italy on Wednesday. His impending departure has attracted the attention of several European giants, including Manchester City and Manchester United, although the Red Devils are not thought to be in the race for his signature. Pep Guardiola's side are considering a move for the Italian, with Galatasaray interested in Ederson. City have already signed goalkeeper James Trafford for €31 million this summer, and the returning star is primed to be the club's new number one. PSG are likely to want around €40 million for Donnarumma, who has also attracted interest from Real Madrid and clubs in Saudi Arabia. The goalkeeper, who reportedly earns around €200,000 a week at the League One club, thanked his teammates and fans in his message. "I hope to have the opportunity to look the fans at the Parc des Princes in the eyes one more time and say goodbye as it should be done," he added. "If that doesn't happen, I want you to know that your support and affection mean the world to me, and I will never forget it." Donnarumma has made 161 appearances for PSG since joining the club from AC Milan back in 2021 on a free transfer. He has won 4 Ligue 1 titles, 2 French Cups, 3 French Super Cups and the Champions League while at the club. Donnarumma has also enjoyed success with Italy, having helped his nation be crowned European champions back in 2021.